Okay, so I've recently watched this movie called Hoppers, and it's about a movie where a college girl, with the help of technology, transfers her consciousness into a robotic animal, a robotic beaver, and she gets to see the world in the perspective of a beaver and gets to communicate with other animals. Basically, Avatar, which a lot of people said, and I'm sure they've referenced it in the movie. Unlike a lot of people, my expectations going into this movie were kind of high because these were my type of movies. Being someone who grew up watching Pixar movies, Pixar, DreamWorks, they were my bread and butter. So when I saw this trailer on Instagram like almost a year ago, I was like, "Yup, this is my movie. Can't wait." And when I read the comments below, it was kind of disappointing how a lot of people kept bringing up AI, that it looked like AI. And honestly, I get where they're coming from. This did came out at the peak of AI slop where everyone was editing their own pictures in the Pixar art style and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I get where they're coming from, and it's just sad that we can't really do anything about it. But besides that, yeah, it looked like a really family friendly, fun movie with a, decent, good life lesson at the end of the movie. So yeah. Another reason why I was super excited going into this movie was that I hadn't seen anything good in a really long time. I was in a movie slump. The last movie I watched was probably some niche Korean movie that I watched at 12 a.m. and have no recollection for. And yeah, that must have been a reason why I really enjoyed this movie, I guess, because there was no competition at all. Now, the stuff I was actually looking forward to while heading into this movie. First off, it's not that deep. It's about a college girl who loves animal, who gets to be an animal, gets to live the animal life, and she probably does something that saves the day at the end of the movie. It's not that deep. And also, another thing I really like about this movie going in was the character design. Sure, Mabel, the normal trope, ADHD driven, chaotic, witty, quick, all that kind of stuff. Yep, we've seen that a lot. But besides that, her character design, I loved her character design, especially her hair, which reminded me a lot of my hair as well. And I don't know if that's a good thing that I have the hair of an animated girl, but that's besides the point. I really love Mabel's character design. And also, there's this one scene at the beginning of the movie where the mayor's goon were about to blow up the dam, and she shows up, and there was this guard dog who was really ferocious. But when Mabel shows up, the dog lets Mabel pet him, which is a super tiny detail, but I really liked it. It went with the show don't tell archetype. Archetype, I don't know. I don't even know if that's the right word, but instead of saying, "Oh, Mabel loves animal, Mabel loves animal," it is shown that Mabel loves animal and animals love Mabel back as well. So yeah, it's a really tiny thing, but I just want to put that out there. Now let's talk about the characters. Now, from the one single viewing that I had, there were a lot of characters, but we're not going to talk about all of them. We're just going to talk about the main ones. We have King George. Now, my first impression of this character, I was, meh. Another comic relief character who says goofy stuff, who's goofy, but turns out they're in power, and all that kind of stuff. But towards the end of the movie, King George, he slowly grows on you. And later in the movie, there's this scene. Oh, that scene. If you've seen this movie, you know which scene I'm referring to. Oh, but yeah, we'll talk about that scene later. But yeah, King George, he grows on you. It gets better. We have the mayor. I really don't have any thoughts about the mayor. We thought he was gonna be the big bad of the movie, but turns out he's not. And I don't know what this trope is called, but I feel like I've seen this trope a lot of time in a lot of movies where there's this person in power who feels like the bad guy, but at the end of the movie it's not, and they join forces with the main character and tries to take down another big bad. I don't know, but I just didn't like this character. But wait. Let me just say this real quick. For the first 30 minutes, I mean the entire movie, I thought that Jerry, the mayor, yep, I remember the name Jerry, has the same voice actor as Jerry from Rick and Morty because they sounded exactly the same, right? And I was like, oh, such a Jerry move. Jerry behavior, Jerry. And when the movie ended and I saw the credits, it wasn't that Jerry, it was a different Jerry. Yeah, just wanted to put that out there. Now, lastly, yeah, there are a lot of other characters as well, but yeah, let's just wrap it up. Let's talk about the villain of this movie. Now, my first impressions of this villain, I didn't know he was going to be the villain. it was just a womb, a caterpillar, right? When first got introduced, I don't know. I didn't even remember at this point, but one really fascinating thing about this villain. Okay, let me just paint you a picture. Imagine this. You're the son of a ruler, butterfly nation or insect nation or whatever, and one day there's this meeting and you show up to the meeting, and the meeting is about how the humans are trying to destroy our ecosystem and all that kind of stuff, and you have to join forces. And suddenly one beaver just randomly squashes your mother to death, and you find out that beaver turns out to be one of the humans. How would you feel? And later in the movie you get access to technology, weird technology, where you also get to be a human and you get to fight back. I feel like that premise is a lot more interesting than the movie that we just watched, but yeah, maybe it's just me. There are a lot of good stuff about this movie that most people won't admit. The movie, first of all, it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's a family friendly movie. It gets to the point, it shows you the character, teaches you a lesson, and yeah, that's it. If you go into this movie with crazy high expectation, you're definitely gonna be disappointed. But if you're going in with, mid expectation or no expectation at all, with your friends, family, or whatever, just going to this movie for the sake of watching a movie, I can assure you, you're gonna like it. You're not gonna be disappointed. This movie is actually really good, I'm telling you. And the tearjerker scene. Every Pixar movie has it, and this scene also does it perfectly. The scene where Mabel gets abducted back by the owner of the technology and her consciousness was sucked out from the robot, and King George is just like, man, I'm not doing this scene justice with the way I'm explaining it, but if you've seen this movie, you know how it feels. And if you haven't seen this movie, you should definitely see this movie so that you can experience that scene. And yeah, there's this, happy lesson at the end where, oh, kids, don't cut trees, animals' life matter too. And yeah, all around, it's like I said, it's a good movie. Now, is there stuff that I hate about this movie? Well, not really, because this movie really doesn't try to sell thing that it isn't selling. It's shown in the trailer what this movie is about. If you go in with high expectation and get disappointed, that's your fault. But yeah, it's a movie. It's a movie. If you watch it, you're gonna like it. If you have high expectation, you're gonna be disappointed. But at the end of the day, it's one of the movies of all time. Now, would I recommend you to watch it? Yes. Now, would I rewatch it again? Probably not. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching.